Good evening, it is the Rams Review. We're looking back at Swansea City 1, Derby County 0. We'll be heading back, of course, to the stadium very shortly, and we'll be getting some reaction from the dressing room as well. Let's get the reaction from Shaun Barker and also Keith Briggs, who's with us today. Keith, great to have you with us. Your thoughts, obviously we heard from Shaun at the end of the game, so your thoughts just on the match and the result?
Yeah, a little bit frustrated really. I don't think there was much in the game. I think we created the better chances first half. I thought Fozz's was a great chance. He's got in front of his man. Just got to use his right foot, like Bark said in commentary, and I think we go 1-0 in. Again, created a couple of decent chances second half, but yeah, just that little bit of switching off at the back post, maybe a little bit of tiredness creeping in, and unfortunately we conceded the goal. But we go again, on to the next match, take every game as it comes, and yeah, move on.
And when I asked that question to you, I talked about the match and the result, and actually you could probably divide those two things up as well, because there were some positives to take out of the match, but obviously the result isn't.
Yeah, exactly. I think a big positive is that we're still out the bottom three. I think performances from a lot of the players today were still very, very good. There was a lot of positive aspects of the game that we saw, and I think it's just a matter of trying to get that one out of the way now, move on to the next one, get on the training ground, refocus for the next game.
Shaun, your thoughts now? You've had a few minutes sort of to reflect on it. Obviously that one key moment, and you'd said it in commentary, you thought one key moment might just be the difference today, and it was in defence for Derby.
Yeah, I thought we were a better team throughout the game. We knew Swansea would have possession. They have time on the ball. They want to build through the pitch. They didn't test our back line at all until, I think I said 68th minute was the first chance on goal. So in terms of a away performance, that's fine. You're looking to make the most of your opportunities, and we had the better opportunities through the 90 minutes. But Briggs will tell you that those tight games where it's 0-0, you're away from home, any moment can cause you problems. And we just switched off for 1 second. It was the one chance that they created. They took it, and we just couldn't get back into the game. So in terms of a performance, for long spells, it was fine. It was good. We deserved something from it, but the Championship is relentless, and it doesn't forgive anyone. If you switch off, if you turn off for a second, you can get punished, and unfortunately that's what's happened.
Well, let's head back to the Swansea.com stadium now, and we can hear from the Derby County coach, John Eustace.
It was obviously very disappointing to lose the game. You know, I thought that we controlled much of the game without the ball and with the ball, and you know, the manner we conceded, I think it was there for one opportunity on goal all match, and you know, we need to defend that cross better. You know, we need to put our head on it, and it was the one time we switched off and we got punished.
That's not been the case in recent weeks. You've defended so well, so that must be doubly frustrating, because you've spoke a lot about doing the basics well, and you have been doing that.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't do them well, you get punished. And listen, over the course of 90 minutes, I thought the group was excellent. You know, they worked the socks off. The desire was there. You know, the commitment was there, and I'm just really disappointed for them. Really, they put so much effort in after such a huge effort on Wednesday night, and to come away with nothing today is really frustrating.
What did you like in the performance? And you say that you've got the commitment and the effort, and you limited Swansea to so little, and you had your moments as well in attacking third.
Yeah, I liked our structure without the ball. I thought we were very difficult to play against. I thought you know, we always looked to threat off of set pieces. You know, on the transitions we were okay, but we need to be better in that final third when we get that opportunity. We know that, but overall it was you know, it was a really positive performance in my eyes. Obviously, just really disappointed to lose, but you know, we got another opportunity now Tuesday to bounce back, and I know this group will. You know, 2,000 fans followed us down to Swansea, and they were outstanding today, and I'm just sorry we couldn't give them more to cheer about at the end, but the ovation they gave the boys was there for everyone to see. They could see the effort was there from the group, and you know, we've got to brush ourselves down and go again now.
How big an effort was it today? Because you played Wednesday, Swansea didn't have a game, and then you've got to go again in the heat as well, and put in a performance like they did, because they worked so hard. Yeah,
I thought it was an excellent performance, and an amazing effort from the group. As you say, you know, I've got a couple of days to reset and refocus for the game, and losing Callum late yesterday was a blow. But I thought Fozzie came in, left wing back did well, Langers did okay. You know, so Jackson coming in for his first start for a while as well, worked his socks off. So the group, everyone could see the togetherness and the efforts there, and it's important how we brush ourselves off after a really disappointing result and go again Tuesday.
You mentioned Callum Elder, no Ryan Namby as well. What's the situation with them?
Yeah, Ryan's unfortunately going to be out for the season, which is a big blow to us. Of course it is. But it gives somebody else an opportunity now to step in and do well, which I know they will. And obviously Callum's going to be missing. Hopefully not too long. We'll see how he is for Tuesday.
You mentioned the togetherness again, and we've spoken about that a lot in recent weeks. You've lost the game today. You've had 2,000 fans here, giving the players a standing ovation. If ever you want to sort of proof that everybody's together, I suppose that sums it up really.
Of course, and that's why I came to the football club. I know how passionate the fans are, and I know how much they care about the club, and this group of players care just as much. So it's a group effort from now to the end of the season to make sure we get enough points to stay in the league.
John Eustace speaking to us after the defeat at Swansea. Keith and Shaun listening in to that. I suppose when he goes away and analyses that game, and he will obviously go away and analyse those key points, the fact that the goal that they conceded, we know what went wrong, is something then I guess you can go to the training ground and work on? Is that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, look at every situation where you...
Because you do leave some matches and think, how did we lose that? We know, though, how we lost that one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. There'll be moments that he mentioned there, defending the box. It's so important in those sorts of games. Swansea didn't put a cross in a decent cross in for long spells. I think it was the first or maybe second decent ball in the box. You have to defend the box better. It's as simple as that. We have done over the last couple of games. We've looked solid. I think the back three... again, looked pretty assured, won the balls in the box. But if you switch off, you pay the price. And he mentioned there, out of possession, the detail is excellent. You can see that they work it on the pitch. They limited Swansea to very few chances. They protected the centre of the pitch. When they forced it wide, they were tight. But it was too easy for the cross to come in, far post. You can't have a free header. And it's simple stuff, but it is stuff that matters.
Okay, when you look at that goal, 3 opportunities to try and defend it. 1, you stop the cross coming in. 2, so should someone have warned Kane about what was happening, or should he as the defender just go and attack the ball?
Yeah, I think Barks has mentioned it. I think the game plan was perfect. I think they created absolutely nothing except for that couple of opportunities maybe. But yeah, can we work harder to stop the cross? Can we get out there? Can we stop the ball coming into the box? Can we then make first contact a little bit earlier by being positionally a little bit better? And then Kane's just got to open his body out. He's got to see his man. He's got to see him coming from the blind side. He's not checked his shoulder, and then unfortunately the blind side runs just caught him out. But Kane will know himself that he needs to be a little bit better at the back stick. But like I said, he'll learn from it and we'll go again. I thought he did very well today, actually. I thought he was really effective going forward. It was probably our best outlet on the right-hand side in the second half. Put a few balls in the box, and unfortunately, the little lapse in concentration has let himself down with it. But, like I said, he's a good footballer, Kane, and he'll go again.
And Shaun, the story of the game is obviously in the first half we talked, didn't we, about 2 or 3 decent chances, half chances that Derby had.
They did, and the majority came from set plays, especially the long throws. We've caused problems for teams winning the second ball, and Fozzie had a couple of chances. He was looking for 2 and 2. That didn't quite happen for him, but with what you can see the detail that they go into on the training pitch. We haven't been, in all due respect, an in-possession side towards the top end of the league this season. There's better in-possession teams. There's better footballers in terms of building through the pitch. Swansea are better than that. So we wanted a fight. We wanted a bit more of a first phase, second phase, get the ball forward quickly. You play to your strengths. And of late, set pieces have been that. Unfortunately, that second ball, we couldn't quite land on it. There was a chance for Kane Wilson, a couple of chances for Fozzie. In open play, we didn't have too many opportunities. But neither did Swansea. So that's the point. That's the detail that you need. Can you get that first goal? If we get this first goal, we win the game. I've got no doubts that when we get that first goal with John at the helm, he always knows a way to win the football match. But it didn't come. Again, it was a decent performance, but you're fighting for your lives at the bottom of the table. Swansea are too, and they got the all-important goal that won them the game.
We'll get your thoughts in a moment on the game on Tuesday, because that now takes on increased importance. But let's hear from Liam Thompson.
Frustrated with the result. Felt like we should have come away with at least a point, but ultimately, that one slight lack of concentration has cost us in the end, and lads are just gutted in there.
it was such a difficult time to concede, as it looked like we were starting to get some real momentum going forward as well.
Yeah, I felt we was always in the game. You know, I felt they never really threatened us. We was in control of, you know, them on the ball. We had a good shape behind the ball, but especially second half, we had that bit of momentum, and then as soon as they go and get that goal, you know, it sort of kills you a little bit. So to see that going was disappointing.
Like I say, there was a lot of positives. Does it feel like you've still got momentum going into these final 6 games?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've obviously been on a good run. And I said, you know, it's easy to go in there and say, you know, unlucky, but that's not us. You know, we're driving them standards every day, and everything matters. And, you know, a point would have been vital today. You know, we're fighting for every single point, but we're still confident going into Tuesday. Another tough game, but, you know, we're confident against anyone, and there's that belief in that changing room.
Next up, we're back at home, so it's a chance to react straight away.
Yeah, back at home, you know, where we want to be. Obviously in great form at home, so just got to pick ourselves up and just go again, really, and keep showing that desire that we are showing, and keep going.
And just a word on the away support as well. A long way from home, they still travel in the numbers.
Yeah, you know, they're incredible. They're with us every game, you know, and we feel that as players. We've got that full support, so they help massively.
Well, Liam Thompson just getting out of the way before he got run over by the lawnmower there. Let's just have a look at the scores from elsewhere in the division today. We had some of those early games. Blackburn Rovers losing at Ewood Park to Middlesbrough by 2-0. Coventry going down to Burnley, who of course next up for Derby, 2-1. Coventry went down at home. Luton 1, Leeds 1. Rails are falling off a little bit for Leeds United at the minute. West Brom 0, Sunderland 1. And then some of the other kickoffs, the 3 o'clock kickoffs: Bristol City 2, Watford 1, Millwall 2, Portsmouth 1, Oxford 1, Sheffield United 0, Plymouth 2, Norwich 1, 1 apiece between Preston and Stoke City, goalless in that game between QPR, Cardiff, and, well, an important late goal for Hull City at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Hull City 1, and then at the bottom there, our result. Let's have a look at the top half of the table. We'll talk more about Burnley in a moment, but you can see them there. They are in pole position for promotion to the Premier League, just holding off the challenge of Sheffield United at the minute. And then the bottom half of the table, as we were saying earlier, the positive to take is that Derby is still sitting outside of that bottom 3 at the moment, courtesy of that better goal difference. Plymouth Argyle, Luton Town and Cardiff City all in the bottom 3. Swansea, well, they've moved themselves 7 points clear of the drop zone now. They are up in 15th. So it is the Rams review, and Liam Thompson was saying it's where we want to be, back at home, Pride Park, Tuesday night. But it's going to be a really tough game, isn't it? They're a team at top of the table at this stage of the season. They are there very much on merit.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult game, but like you say, we'll have the home supporters to back us. They're fighting for points for a different reason. They'll be sort of really happy that Sheffield United haven't done their job today with a win. So they'll build on that momentum to try and hopefully open a gap. But anything can happen, like Bark said. The Championship is a really tough division. Teams can beat any team on their day if they're at it, and hopefully we'll put a good performance in and try and pick up 3 points.
I wasn't blown away with Burnley in this season. Actually, Derby were well in the game. We talked about the home form. Away from home, we haven't been great this season. We've relied a lot at being on it at Pride Park, and we've seen of late we can win games of football. It's important. You saw Tomo's reaction. He looked a little bit down, a little bit disappointed. We appreciate that. You've just lost a game of football, a big game. But of late, we've been very, very good, and it's important that we bounce back quickly, and what better way than top of the table? Yeah,
and a different type of pressure on both teams as well, because there is now a pressure on them being top of the pile. I kind of mentioned it a bit tongue-in-cheek there with Leeds. They got there, and they've fallen away a little bit now, because they can see the prize.
Yeah, everyone's got pressure for different reasons. Burnley now sit top. They'll be trying to keep that momentum with them. They want to get automatic promotion. They don't want to get sucked into getting into the playoffs and having to go through to finals and semi-finals. Absolutely not. They'll want to get promoted. So that extra little pressure comes with them as well. And they won't be thinking this is an easy game against Derby on Tuesday. They'll be thinking this is at Pride Park. It's going to be 30,000. They saw it in this season that we're competitive. We very rarely get rolled over. Only once that's happened this season. So if we're on it, if the detail's there, we can cause an upset. And at Pride Park, we've seen that a few times this season.
And your under-21's got a couple of games this week as well?
Yeah, I've got an easy game against Arsenal on Monday. That's away at Boreham Wood, and then we've got Southampton Friday, so 2-game week. Yeah, so tough week, but we'll be okay.
Well, all the very best for those 2 games. Great to have you with us.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much.
More than welcome.
And thank you. Of course, we'll be back on Tuesday night. It's a 7:45 kickoff on RamsTV for Derby County against Burnley. Hopefully you'll be able to join us then. From all of us here, sorry we couldn't bring you the right result today, but try and have a good evening anyway. Good night.